That was Wheeljack taking out Thundercracker. This is a review for Wheeljack Generations Deluxe. Really sweet figure I picked up a couple months ago. Last year I've collected a lot of figures, and this one is one of my favorites. It's very cool. He has a very cool vehicle mode. White sports car here with the classic Wheeljack green and red racing stripes. Looks awesome. Really good detail for a deluxe figure. You can see on the front there, great detail. Nice detail on the rims, on the tires. Really cool exhaust pipes, which later will become his wrenches. Really nice detail on the back. Cool spoiler. Nice silver paint there on the back window. Great Autobot logo. Very good looking car in vehicle mode. Really can't complain. I guess the only thing you could complain about is there's a little separation there in these panels, but you know what? I'll just look past that. No big deal. Rolls awesome, which is great. Love it when toys roll. This one doesn't roll. You can hear it scraping on the table. I hate that. This one rolls really nice. He's a really good rendition of the G1 figure Wheeljack. Here he is in the original cartoon. You can see the likeness right there. Also, that cartoon, of course, was created after the original toy. This is the original Transformers Wheeljack. It was made after a 1976 Lancia Stratus Turbo. This was actually a really good model of that car. Super quick. Just to be a little extra nerdy, I got a picture of that original car. This is the actual car that Wheeljack was made after. This is the closed course race car. 1976 Lancia Stratus Turbo, actually more successful as a rally car than a closed course car, but that's neither here nor there. Really nice looking rendition of Wheeljack. Looks awesome. Absolutely love the way he looks in vehicle mode. Real quick, I'll show you his flight mode. Now, originally Wheeljack did not have a flight mode, but this toy does. You could see his doors fold out to these wings, and these wings extend out like so. The exhaust pipes become little guns on the wings. So, you know, kids would really like this. I'm sure kids would play with this mode. Collectors don't really care that much about it, but I thought I'd show it to you nonetheless. Oh, and one other thing I thought I'd show you. His weapon storage back here in the back of the car. His over-the-shoulder rocket launcher fits right back in there, and that's really cool. Alright, I'm not going to go into the whole transformation because the truth is, when it comes to Transformers, I'm kind of a good looks guy. I mean, the transformation's cool, I like it and all, but I care about what they look like in the alt mode and what they look like in the robot mode. I will show you one cool thing about his transformation here at the end. You push his chest piece up and his head pops up and his shoulders pop out, and that is a pretty cool feature to his transformation. And this is what Wheeljack looks like in the robot mode. I really like it. There's definitely some drawbacks to this figure. One are these legs. They look big and clunky, and they are big and clunky. He doesn't have great posability with them. He has articulation, but it can actually be quite difficult to get him to stand right and in any poses because they're so big and clunky. Other than that, I think he looks awesome. He's got really cool paint detail. I think the paint job in the car mode translates well into robot mode. He also has a lot of black and silver and translucent pieces. His wrenches look really cool. That was a really nice touch they gave him since he is the Autobot mechanic from G1. And a lot of silver. His face looks great. You can see they gave him light piping in the eyes and on the sides of his head, which we'll get into here in a minute. Really cool looking over the shoulder cannon. The wings look really cool. I like how they extended the wings out like this to make him look G1. And all in all, he looks a lot like Wheeljack did in the original. Doing a little side view, you can see he does have a backpack that sticks out a bit, but I think it looks pretty cool. He was, like I said, kind of a stockier character, so it doesn't really bother me that he's a little bulkier. I'm going to do a little comparison here to what he looked like in the original cartoon. And you can see here, this is what he looked like. And so I think they did a pretty good job capturing the essence of Wheeljack. Got that sleek over-the-shoulder rocket launcher, the wings popping out, and of course, like I said, those translucent pieces on the side of his head. You can see here when Wheeljack would speak in the original cartoon, these would light up, and for some reason they had something to do with his voice. They look like ears, but they had something to do with his voice, and they gave us those nice side pieces to represent that. So he looks really cool. You can see here in this picture, Wheeljack is holding something that he probably created, and in essence, they stuck with that aspect of his character by giving him those wrenches. Quick comparison to his original G1 toy. You can see that I only have a picture of it, but definitely a better looking robot. The robots in the original 80s toys were not nearly as good as their alternative mode counterparts. I thought typically the alternative modes looked a lot better. Wheeljack in the original was voiced by Chris Collins, who's a very talented voice actor, better known for voicing Starscream, but Chris Collins' natural voice actually sounded more like Wheeljack. But the fact that he had a very talented voice actor is one of the reasons why I think he was so popular. Quick little size comparison here to a couple other Deluxe toys. There's Perceptor, and here is Bumblebee. So you can see here, just give Bumblebee a little spin around there. You can see here that Wheeljack is taller than Bumblebee, which would make sense since Bumblebee was a very short character in the original, but he is shorter than Perceptor, which also would make sense because Perceptor was a pretty tall character. So even though he was fairly large as a vehicle, he's not very large as a robot. And part of that is just because he has those short, squatty legs. Wheeljack's an important character in the Transformers universe because he's actually the first character we see in the original cartoon. He's the first character we hear, he's the first character we see on Cybertron, and he was actually with Bumblebee in the first scene. They were together on Cybertron looking for more Energon, and they had found a small pocket of Energon, if you will. And he's the first Transformer that we see transform. So he's an important character for those reasons. Really like this figure, as I mentioned before. I picked him up on sale, and my guess is he's going to be hitting discount stores for a little bit of a cheaper price. Totally pick him up. He's an awesome toy. I think you'll enjoy him. That is Wheeljack Generations Deluxe in a nutshell.